Team ban.
Thinking about it, here maybe we don't see as much nowadays, but there's definitely games where it can be. Wherever this Viper ends up going, they're gonna have rough lane against it. And if it's gonna be a side lane, they don't really have the best way of like tri-laning the Viper. They could like tri-lane with the Viper, I mean Disruptor and Undying, and destroy the Viper, but I'm not sure if that's the best idea still. So it's a pretty hard hero to deal with right now for them.
Venom.
Choose your hero.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah, now you kind of like, I think before also you kind of did it, that you kind of play around your wards now, but even now that they buffed the wards and the poison sting, so I think most people are just going for the ward max out and then the sting as well, and kind of leaving Gale at one point. And just the early wards are better than they were before, so it's kind of getting like more attention. Kezu is definitely a guy who plays a lot of Venomancer, so I'm not against this pick as well. It also gives you some kind of tower push, and it makes some of their heroes a little bit annoyed. I can see a big problem with the Venomancer now though, that they have this really strong lane, this Ricky Grimstroke. If they don't play the lane well in the start, it can be really tricky for the Venom to step on the lane and he can just get killed. But we'll see how they end up putting the lanes, because both teams have a lot of like ways of they can put their lanes in this game. So gonna see.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Yep.
Gonna take
Yep.
chips away.
Yep.
And whether having to find.
Yeah. That's pretty much the Venom.
You can see how.
Yeah, it's kind of like a trick. It's gonna be really like the first two waves kind of is gonna define how this lane is gonna go. If Zoomers can like play really aggressive and just go on this Venom, they can win this lane. But I think if they don't get to do that the first few lanes, they're gonna get harassed so hard on this lane by the Disruptor and the Venomancer. So I would maybe even like to see some like Orb of Venom or something like this on the Ricky and just running at this Venom. The good thing that they have is that this Disruptor doesn't really offer anything when they go on him, so there is that.
I guess.
Yeah.
What just happened?
That is what you
See you later, nerds. What the just happened?
Yeah, it does look like they're thinking about it though, because he has a Blightstone and he has like he's running bottom. What I do also like from Crazy is that they're putting the Undying bottom, because I think that is the one way they can maybe help the Venomancer a bit more. But I think if they're gonna,
Thinking that too.
yeah,
But Venom, I'm dying.
Holy moly!
yeah. If they try lane them though, that is gonna be an issue, and I don't think even Undying can do much about that, because they can literally just run at this Venom, and with the Blightstone it does really look like that they want to try lane. So, well, let's see how this, because it's not ideal as well that they try lane for long, because at the same time this Viper is gonna have a really rough time top if he's gonna be staying alone against Disruptor and Slark. So they might just need to like put the Rubik for there for like 1 or 2 minutes and then go top. I think that might be the idea. Yeah.
Stone. A lady.
The battle begins.
Yeah, he could have skill lift if he wanted the first blow, but it is mostly like feels pretty bad to skill lift, so I can see why he wants to go for the Fade Bolt. Okay, he doesn't end up laning here, just starts bottom, and okay. I think this is still fine, because now he needs to, like, now he can help the Viper, and this Lark should have a rough time. But I'm curious to see how this bottom lane ends up going right now.
Nothing for your troubles.
Yeah, that's pretty smart from him. He doesn't want to like some levels, and if he wants to go for the Flame God, he can also jungle. I'm just gonna curious to see what the skill build he's gonna end up choosing to go for. Yeah. Yeah, having the 1 point in chains helps so much against this mid lane, because you just root him if he goes on you, and then you can kind of run to your tower, and it's pretty hard for the Patra to completely dive him unless you have a lot of stacks on you. So I kind of like the 1 point in cheering chains. I would assume he's gonna start getting more points in Flame Guard.
Back to block that wave a little bit. Bottom go.
Not the likes of you.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Lost knowledge, lost.
First blood.
with a poison twist.
Yeah, I would expect this top lane to be pretty Zoomer's favorite once the lane goes on, but at the same time I also think CR4ZY is gonna have an advantage on their off lane, so both off laners should have a pretty good time in this game. Mid lane is kinda, like I said, kinda even. Even lane is gonna come to these small plays and rune control and stuff like that. Who's gonna get more help on that? It's gonna have a lot of big advantage on the lane.
Crazy.
Denial.
Yeah, I remember him as well for like bottom lanes and stuff happening. Yeah, but yeah, about HFan, I definitely think he's like one of the most known South American players, and he also has been playing for a long time, and yeah, I think he can be a good fit for this team as well.
Trickster's rune of illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not more.
Yep. It's I mean, at least when I've been looking at this game, he has like a pretty unique way. Like he plays a little bit like, he has some heroes that he plays pretty well that I don't see. I mean, there are certain players like Arc Wardens and stuff he likes to play in Medusa quite a lot. So there are some heroes that he has shown some good stuff for me, and he's pretty good at this. Has some Hector vibes sometimes. Really good at farming and like optimizing his farming patterns and stuff. So.
They're gonna go again in a moment.
Yep.
Never refuse gold given.
Yeah, that's still pretty fun. Like it's still okay for CR4ZY that like this lane is still gonna be like they're losing a lot of region war in this game on this bottom lane, and like Veno is gonna start pulling even more ahead. And as a Ricky, kinda you really want to win your lane because this hero doesn't really farm. Like recover and farm well, so he's not having the worst time, but he's still not enjoying this lane definitely, and he could have like, ideally with Ricky you want to have a fast diffuse and just run at enemies, and like their lineup is also kind of built around that, so they will need to make some stuff happen later on for this Ricky to maybe bring the Rubik in, or Gunnar gets some nice rune so he can help them with more, but now he did not get the Invis rune.
Let him fire.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is like that is a really big issue when you lane against Venom, because most of these carries, more lane goes on, it's harder it is for you to stay in the lane as well. So they will need to find some way of giving the Ricky a better time, but there is a good thing about the heroes is that they have a lot of kill potential, so once they just bring enough numbers for any lane, they can kind of get kills anywhere. So that's something that they can look to do when they want to. Yeah, and that's really like now you can't really do much to this Stark anymore. He will like be fine on this lane. Monkeys has a slight advantage, but I don't think the Stark is too unhappy about this, and knowing that their bottom lane is going this well, so he feels fine in this matchup. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they might go on monkeys now. Probably steeping in. Yep. Yeah, I think that's the right approach. Like, you have this good advantage, you really don't want to die for no reason in this lane. One thing we can say at least for that is good for Zoom is that Gunnar has a really good game, and he's gonna have trouble, so he can definitely be the difference maker on the lanes and try to help their side lanes. So that is something that Gunnar probably, when he has these troubles, he's gonna look to be really aggressive on bottom lane. He's even trying to look for right now, but Peksu is farming next to him. Okay, Gunnar. Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. He might want that, like, the ancient creeps are kind of around, so maybe he gets denied and it feels kind of bad, man. So I think it's fine to use the lasso like that. Now he gets his travels, and with the next lasso, or maybe even before that, he can already be active. Yeah, it's gonna be this target that you will go on him, you might kill him, but you're gonna take a lot of damage for it, so... some bounty rune section. HFN should be able to get this one.
I'll take that. Go for me.
Yep. So what are people gonna look for building here? Kinda looking to go for Blink, I think that's fine. Could maybe even think about like a straight BKB, just makes him able to just not care too much about in the team fight. With the Blink, they do have some lacking, like some initiation, so the Blink helps definitely on that part. We can still see him like getting pretty annoyed by this constant poking of Crazy's lineup. So he will definitely a BKB later on. The Blink is fine.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Yep. It's not gonna be easy game for Batrider for sure. But the Blink is still fine because they do like some ways of starting the fight. So
Dire's top tower is under
building the hero.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
Yeah, and like you said, I think it is a really tricky way of for Zoomers to go for that play, because they do know there's a lot of Venom wards around them, so the fight is gonna be like really annoying anyway, even though you got some nice kills, but it's still everyone is gonna be low, and like Bright has this max slight, he's just gonna be constantly making you low, and I think that's completely fine for Crazy. They lose the Venom, but their other cores survive and they get more and more farm and bigger, and every time Ricky dies like this, it's really bad for the lineup, because they do want to keep this tempo up, and when stuff like this happens, it brings the Slark more and more ahead of the Ricky, and it's kind of hard for the Ricky to later on deal with the Slark. It's already a 3-level difference, so yeah.
Denied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, Rick is definitely can be one of the better heroes against Lark and Ember, but if you have a game like this, it is pretty tricky how you can make the hero work. So, but I think, for example, Crazy right now, they can kind of just farm. They don't need to do anything weird. They probably want one more item on Lark before they really want to take fights. And for Zoomers, they do need this diffusal, so they shouldn't try to use Ricky too much. Like it's a fully secure fight. Gunner is gonna have a lot of stuff to do in this game. He's been doing quite a lot already, so that is the good part.
Your place.
Dire are scanning.
Built a fine position.
I like how Ari is playing. Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Actually, I might die. Oh.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah,
Dire's bottom
and now they're gonna
tower
get
is
to
under attack.
push his tower.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It's some good stuff from Crazy right now, even though HFN doesn't even have, like, he has only the drums, but he still has, he's so high level, so he's still gonna be able to do a lot in the fight, as long as he just gets to survive.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Searing heat.
HFN.
Yeah, at least I get the Venom kill, so it's not the worst thing, but it is still pretty, like I said before, it's pretty, like, they should be the ones who are doing this stuff instead of, like, Crazy is doing this stuff to them, so they don't have any Midases or anything like this, so that is all they have. So they're in pretty tricky position right now. They do need to get this diffusal, and with the diffusal, I think that is the best timing for them to get a good fight. And they're pretty close to it, so they should just look to farm it, and then once they have it, they can look for a smoke and do something. But right now, HFN got his diffusal, and I'm a big fan of this item build, what he has actually. I have seen a lot of Gunner should die here. Yeah.
Supernova.
Yep. And yeah, they have some annoying parts in the fighting into them right now. The Venom wards, the Doomstone, and Disruptor stuff as well. Yeah.
Until wound of regeneration.
just like they're using the info really well, that they understand that Ricky doesn't have a diffusal, so he's basically not a threat at all right now, and they can just constantly keep fighting. He does get his diffusal now, so they don't know about this yet. This could be the best timing for Zoomers to get a good fight with this diffusal, but they do need to wait for monkeys to respawn. But yeah, Crazy's using their like knowledge pretty well, and they're kind of fighting 4v5. Like Zoomers is kind of fighting 4v5 right now. But they're smoking up right now. This is the best play they can have, I think, for Zoomers to find something good with this smoke.
Himself.
Yeah, I think that's it's okay for Zoomers. Ideally, you want to get something bigger from out of the smoke, so it doesn't really stop the. And now they know about the diffusal, so they do have that info for them. Both teams can't really pressure Roshan, so I think it's gonna be a lot about playing on this own wards now and vision.
They understand.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
Yeah, it is pretty hard for them because they do use the lasso to kill the Undying, so their tools for killing and like getting a fast kill is pretty limited out of the lasso.
Radiant are
And
scattered.
like Kezu has been also building this very tanky Venomancer with the mech as well, so there's gonna be some hard kills. Disruptor and Undying are the best kills, but even Aoi is building. He has a Threads and he has a Buckler, so he did die there, but like let's say it's a 5-on-5 team fight, those items are gonna make him more tankier and harder to kill as well. Yeah, that was still like looked really good for Zoomers. Like they get a double lasso, that is the best way of them getting the fight. But it's pretty annoying still, like fighting into, like we said, the Tombstone and the Veno wards and the Veno ulti. Like sure they get to kill these like kind of support heroes, but the core still stay alive, and they're getting closer to their BKBs as well. So I'm not gonna see a very easy way of them ever like killing this, or like it's gonna be really hard for them to kill Brial and HFN once they get these BKBs. But the best way they do have is the double lasso. So if they do get that on, like, let's say Ember, they might be able to burst him if he doesn't get the BKB off. So they do still have some tools. They just need to keep doing that and kind of trying to get even just better chance of it. They're not gonna be winning this game by farming. So fighting like that is the best way.
Those games turn around.
Yeah.
Ensnared in fire.
Double damage.
Monster kill. Ensnared in fire.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's pretty hard right now. Like Royal gets the BKB there. They could have been really good, but Royal had a fast fingers there and gets his BKB off, and you can see they don't really have damage right now. Ricky is not that farmed, so they don't really have the right click damage either way. But yeah, good stuff from Crazy. They're playing under their, like, they have some good item choices, which I'm a big fan of in this game. They're being pretty tanky. They're not dying to this initial lasso combo, and then they're just getting to turn it around. So Zoomers is gonna have some hard stuff to do in order to turn this around.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yep.
They just play.
Yeah.
Smoke up.
Monster kill!
Yeah, it's not looking that good for Zoomers. At least the Sammy boy is getting to go a bit out on the map and trying to get his BKB. If he gets that, it can help. Maybe now they can go for Roshan on Crazy. I don't think there's any way Zoomers can contest them with the double BKB, so they should be free Roshan. Good. Yeah, helps also getting the Roshan, and if you decides to go for the Solar, which is probably pretty fine. Hard hero to bring down. Like right now, anyone except out of Disruptor is pretty hard for them to kill. But at least the
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What you sound like!
it's still really tricky, like for them to get out of the base and try to fight, because they do still have the Slark Aegis. I think they just kind of have to play around their base and let the Sammy boy get as much as he can out on the map. Even though the Disruptor ult is on the cooldown, I don't think they necessarily need it right now that hard. They're so much ahead already that fighting into it even, yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yep. I like the idea though from Zoomers. I think the idea is completely fine. The execution maybe not the best. They could have waited like a little bit for the Ricky to bait, and then if they're ready for that, they can maybe get the bridal kill. But yeah, Zoomers were also ready for that, and I mean Crazy was ready for that, and they end up turning it around. It's still a bit hard for them to push high ground. Well, they do have Desolator now on Brile, so they could hit it if they want to, but they can also just close the map and not let them farm at all and make the lead grow even bigger, because there's not really much Zoomers can do if they had to just sit in base. They're gonna get heavily out-farmed. So they can just slow the game like this.
Find it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I think there are players that kind of like live to it. At least I know like Madara was like a guy that he loves to play in this kind of situations where he managed to make the really good comeback. But there's definitely players also like who like to, let's say, who doesn't enjoy this kind of situation that, okay, well, we're in a pretty rough situation and we're gonna be dragging out, but it is kind of a mindset that you can just need to like work on, because you will not always have like the best games, and you will just need to you can always turn the game around if you have that kind of mindset. Sometimes you can't, but you can try to have the mindset, so that's a good thing if you can have it.